warrior's mindset is about conditioning the mind, body, and spirit. It takes practice, commitment, vision, goal setting, determination, sharp focus, respect, and discipline. Once you learn it, you can apply it to all aspects of your life. The warrior's mindset prepares you for the largest competition ever, the competition against self.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Warrior's Mindset, where it's all about developing mind, body, and spirit, where we build you up from the inside out. So we're here again with another fantastic episode with a great guest. But like we start every podcast, it's always about a prayer. So we want to start with a prayer. God grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Always we talk about what Warrior Mindset represent. For me, given that opportunity to really come up with this name, once again goes out to Champ Nichols for him, coming up with the concept, saying, no, this is a warrior's mindset, man. You have to be a warrior to make it through the things that you have to make it through. And we always talk about what other people have done, how you have to overcome obstacles. But most importantly to me, I think when you walk the walk and talk the talk, you become an example for so many other people. And the guest today is my son, Marshieh Johnson, been training martial arts since he was born, and get ready to go off into the college world, the next level of growth as a young adult. Mr. Marshieh, how you doing?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm great, man. Always great. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Let's say Marshieh, guys. But what I want to do, I want to get Mr. Marshieh, give you a brief introduction on this self. Talk about yourself, Mr. Marshieh.
All right. My name is Marshieh Johnson. I'm 18 years old. I've went through all high school. I played football in high school. And then my other big thing, I've been doing martial arts since as long as I can remember. It's a second nature. Probably here more than my own home. That's like definitely a fact. And I love it. I love every aspect of martial arts, from Tai Chi to sparring. I like every little single bit of it.
What is awesome when we talk about Warrior Mindset and even the podcast and a lot of things that I do, he's one of the brains behind this stuff. When I do the Zoom interviews, he set them up. I got to get them up early in the morning, sometimes like 6 o'clock. Messiah, could you hook up the Zoom? So I'm saying that every parent out there would say, man, turn off the phone. You know what I'm saying? They on the phones too much. Well, look, when you decide to move to another level of understanding, we got to call our kids in and get their help and assistance. Tell me, what was it like when me and your mom, even during COVID, when we asked you to set up Zoom, what is that experience like to know that your parents came to you for some assistance to, move forward in the business and life in general?
Well, as a worker for the dojo, I'll say it in two separate ways, as a kid and as a worker. As a worker, it really showed me that I can actually have something that I can put towards the dojo, something that I'm contributing towards the dojo, something I'm using to grow the dojo. And I actually play a key role. As a kid, it really made me realize that, my parents need me and they appreciate me and everything that they have given me in life. And not saying like anything else like that y'all have done hasn't done that, but just y'all coming to me for help. I always love helping my family because it shows me that I am needed. I am wanted. And during that whole time during quarantine, just being able to have my own little niche that nobody else in the house knew about. I mean, nobody knew how to work Zoom. Nobody knew how to set up the cameras or nothing like that. And just knowing that I could just go in and do it. While everybody else is like, how we do this? And I was like, I got it. Just relax. Let me do it for y'all. I got it. That was a really beautiful thing, and just showed me that I'm needed and I'm a part of the puzzle.
And it's funny, parents, because you're going to struggle because it wasn't that easy. When he said, hold up, chill out, I got it. Man, me and my wife looked at each other, boys, like, hold up, who he talking to? But, we took a breath and we did what we needed to do to accept what he was doing. And he was able to set up Zoom and so many other things. Like I said, with the podcast, when I came up with the idea, and I went to him, he was open. I mean, he had a chance to Isaac Florentine. What was it like with all these people? You a young man, and these people, call Marshieh. Can Marshieh help me out? What was this like, man?
Oh, man. These are people that I've looked up to, from the martial arts circuit to just real life celebrities, like movie directors and artists and stuff. And just having them know my name, having them come to me, it's like I've I'm reaching a certain level. I'm reaching a certain expertise to where other people need me. That's always an awesome thing. Just being able to be in contact with those types of people, and them knowing me. And even when they come to seminars now, they come to me, they say, "What's up?" They say, like, "How you doing?" We're able to have full conversations, and they always stay in touch and are always wishing me best of luck. And it's just so nice to have people of that caliber come back.
But what's awesome when we talk about that, let's take it back to the principles of the Warriors mindset. How would you describe the Warriors mindset?
Warriors mindset is just not giving up. I really, really pride myself in hard work meets talent all the time. That's something that I live by because it's me. I'm not ever that. Never have ever been athletically gifted. I've always had to work 10 times harder than everybody else in the room because it's just not my thing, to be natural at it. But when I work hard at it and I start realizing I start getting the results, it feels so much better because I earned it. And I think that just goes with everything from where I'm at now at a martial arts standpoint to where I can pick up things like that. I mean, it took 18 years to get there, but I'm at that point now where I'm trusting myself, and I know I can spar people that are like higher ranks or whatever. I'm confident. And even for other sports, I mean, track, I knew nothing about. I was a little fast, but it wasn't like proper running form was terrible. Football, especially. I came in there not know how to catch a ball. I didn't know nothing about football. Like all I knew was that the one team trying to get the ball there, other team trying to hit them. I didn't know nothing else other than that. And so just being able to like go on that grind, because I remember my team was just so bad. It was just going on that grind to really like figure out the game. All right, what does this mean? What does that do? How to play cover two, how to play quarters, how to do all these different things, how to get properly tackled and all these other things. It just really helped me learn how to work hard at whatever I wanted, and always keep pushing for it and not stopping. So I think that's the Warriors mindset, just not giving up ever, even when the going gets tough.
What's funny when I think about it, I know when we first did point MMA, and I think we was like 5 or 6 years old, and we was training everybody else to do point MMA, but ain't nobody thinking about besides doing point MMA. And I still remember being my wife. He's like, he want to do point MMA. What? We was scared. I mean, man, there was a fear there. But I'm going to tell you, he was a proof of concept to say that this curriculum worked. He did the exact same basics and was beating everybody.
Jeff Paulson, I'm accustomed back to his rich head. I probably didn't ass, man.
So he showed us that, no, these basics really work. You know what I'm saying? He even had to be with the cartwheel kicks, man.
Heel kick, double leg takedown.
I mean, and as a parent, for being, to just see it working, one, that was great. We were really grateful to see that, man, this stuff really works, and him being a proof of concept, but also seeing him deal with that sort of pressure. I mean, I never even asked you, what was that like as a little kid being, and we talking point MMA, which most people might think, yeah, you don't get hit, but man, as a parent, it was a fight. You can see, I mean, kids grappling you. What was, if you could, go back to those moments, what was that sort of pressure like?
Well, pressure, I mean, the pressure started way before the ring. It started once I really, really learned who my parents were, how famous they were, and my older brother, and how good they were, how known they were. I always felt like I had a target on my back wherever I go in martial arts. Like, it's always going to be like, oh, are you the next Willie the Bam? Are you the next Marco? Oh, you got kicks good. That comes from your mom. And, it's just like you always got to be number 10 because you're carrying that legacy. That's the first thing. And so every time I stepped out in that ring, I knew I just, even if I couldn't beat the person, I just could not let the legacy down. And so that pressure alone was just like really heavy to carry. And the other pressure of just like going in there and knowing I got to fight somebody, I always got this thing now that I say, I knew it back in the day, but now I really say it. It's just God got me, and whatever happens, God's going to control it. So I might as well go out here and fight, because if God want me to lose, he go make me lose. If God want me to win, he gonna make me win. So that's my thing. I just went out there and I was just like, all right, I got hit him before he hit me, and that's just it.
Yeah. And the success that he had even as a black belt, I mean, to me, just to be able to adapt when I used to take you to the gym early in the morning, your mom didn't know what we was going through. You'd be crying. We talk like 3 o'clock in the morning, right?
Yeah, bro.
3 a.m. in the morning, running lines. You know, suck it up, boy.
Yeah.
And especially the black belt test. I mean,
Oh my God.
I mean, what has allowed you to just be so accepting to the possibilities that when we present these things, you're just like, oh, okay, let's do it. You've been on Shark Tank. You did all these things. You never even asked a question. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, just for the audience, what is it like for you to just be able to be so accepting on God's term and having faith in the unseen?
Well, it definitely comes from my parents, first of all. I would definitely say that's something that's just been instilled in me. It's just you want something, go after it, and always try new things, whether it be food, whether it be a sport, just go out and do it. And I think the biggest thing with just like being able to go with the flow, just do it. Like, this is the only life, and I've been realizing that recently too. Like, this is the only life I'm going to get. I might as well make the most of it. I might as well do whatever I can in this life to keep going and to keep trying and try new things and experience new things. Because it's the only time I'm going to get to do it. So, you know, I just think when I really step back and I realize how short life is just like, you got to go out and get what you want. It's not going to come to you. You got to go get it.
And they say, as a warrior in combat, you can't think, you got to respond. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It got to be right now. No question, no second thought, and anything like that.
Just do it.
But you do this, you just do it, but you motivate yourself to do those things.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when we watch you, we see when you get up, you do your homework, you get up, you go to school, now you make I mean, what was that like for you to turn that on as a more mature young teenager and becoming a man to just be responsible for motivating and inspiring and uplifting yourself? What is that, and how important is that?
I think that's a question I've been actually really trying to ask myself, is what motivates me? Because I feel like I'm just a energy ball and I just go. But when I think about what really, really motivates me, if I'm being honest, I don't know. Like, I don't know what pushes me when I get up. I just know I have to do it because I know. I think it's just where I want to be in life. I just don't want to be unsuccessful in life. I think just wanting to be successful, and that's just it. Like, I just want to go. I want to be better than who I was yesterday. So when it comes to just the motivation, I just know I got to get up. I mean, and also it helps that, you know, around the house, everybody either getting up at the same time or way before me. And so I just don't have the time to complain. I just got to go, you know? And I think also another thing is just, you know, my little brother, he lights a little fire under me. I won't tell him it though. His little ego get a little boosted. But, you know, I just know I have to keep going because he is naturally, like, he's a natural athlete. And I know when it comes to sports and stuff, I know I just got to go. I know I can't afford a rest day. I got to work out 3 times a day with him because my 1 day is equal to, or my 3 days equal to his 1. And he going to keep going and going and going. So I can't let him catch up. But yeah.
But I it's mentioning that, but you had became such a great example for him. So even though you say that, but he see you doing all those things. So don't you feel like he pushed that hard because he don't want to let you down?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, it's definitely an iron sharpens iron thing. And we always, you know, it's funny. We always did talk about it though. At his young age, we have talks like that. It's just like how we both kind of look up into each other in a different light. And we just inspire each other on different ways. And I know, like, for sure, I mean, it's the same for him. I would say I'm a lot more of a nerd than he is. And so I think he looks at me in that aspect of, man, I want to be able to have, like, you know, those good grades or be able to save up for that car, like how he did. And I think that's where we balance each other out really well. It's because we are able to learn from the other.
And how, when you talk about that, like good grades, great academics, how important, because once again, you made that commitment yourself and your mom drilled that into you. Because, you know, I follow that lead and your mom drilled that into you. And I'm a lot of times I tell people, I say, look, Messiah ain't got to go through the hell that I went through, because Messiah's hell is getting a bad grade or messing up with something like that. Why is those small things like not getting a good grade or not showing up on time so important to you as a young man?
We'll start with the grades. You know, and when it comes to, I'll use high school football going into college football. The first question they ask when they come in that room, it don't matter what they seen on film. It don't matter what stats you're putting up. The first question all the time is, what GPA do you have? Like, what's your GPA? And that question is really a make or break, because that's the one that can get you playing at the D1 schools, or that's the one that can have you playing in junior college, JUCO. And I've actually seen people that are like way more talented than me naturally, but their grades are just like way lower. And I've gotten more offers and more opportunities than them just because they don't have the grades. So they've been stifled by that. And I think the other thing is just like being on time and just being disciplined. That just comes from, again, just the dojo. I really feel like that has drilled that into me. I just know, like, if I'm late, it's just like a little urge I get, like, oh man, I can't be late. I can't be late. I think I get that from my mom too. Cause she the type at the plane leave at 5 o'clock. We at the airport at like 10. So,
that's 10 o'clock.
Yeah, 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Yes. No, you know.
And look at how many hours we got in between, man. We just learned to flow with that, right?
You got to charge all your electronics. You only say make break.
Bring all your
Fussle. Yeah, I think that's where I got that being on time thing from, was my mom. So yeah.
But also to go on that journey of academics, you in high school, you got you're cool because you got a variety group of friends. You got cool ones, nerd ones, all different races, you know, color, creeds, and so forth. But you ain't gonna tell me that 80% of people trying to pull you from work or pull you and trying to distract you. What did you do? Because kids need to know that. Everybody said, well, it's the school, but that didn't happen with you. How courageous was it for you to stay true to what you wanted to do?
That's a big thing, because when I was little, I definitely used to follow people. I was not a born natural leader. I would say, I'd say I was a leader in certain aspects, but when it came to like playing or like wanting to do other things, I was definitely a follower. I would always follow, like, in the games or whatever, do whatever games they want to do, not really know anything or like mine. Even with music taste and all, I was always a follower, whether it be with like my dad or whether it be with like my friends. And I just feel like, especially during high school, I was able just to find myself and build and realize what I like. And I think that's why I have so many different friend groups, like you said, because I put a whole bunch of eggs in different baskets. But I also think the peer pressure thing comes from, you know, people just respecting me and making sure that they respect me. I'll say, you know, I'm gonna just say in high school, you know, people do bad things in the bathroom. They might smoke, whatever, you know. And if I've ever been in the bathroom, I walk in and use the bathroom, like if I'm leaving class real fast, use the bathroom, and there's people in there, and it's somebody that don't know me will offer it. The person that's smoking with them that knows me, they be like, nah, like, he don't do that. Like nah, respect, like don't do that, chill. That's not him. Like, I don't even have to say it. This is like, yeah, nah, that's not me. That's not who I am. Like, respect that boundary. And I think that's a big thing, is that a lot of these kids, they chase respect, but they don't put it out themselves. They don't say respect me, you know, like, and you're going to have to, we talk about this all the time, just standing up for yourself, standing up for what you believe in. No matter how many people try to push you down, you got to stay 10 toes and you got to push back for what you believe.
Hey everybody, my name is Marshieh Johnson, and I'd like to introduce you to Warrior Mindset Coaching. Warrior Mindset Coaching is a program that helps athletes 18 years of age and younger create positive mindsets toward their sports or the athletic program in order to help them avoid negative mindsets and succeed in their sport. What we offer is advice, tips and tricks, and one-on-one coaching. So if you're interested, please check out the links I provided, and we hope to see you soon. Are you ready to build your Warriors mindset?
For me, as your dad, and I mean, we as a family, I mean, that sort of determination, you know, and vigilance to stay true to yourself. Brother, your example for me, because I didn't have that courage at your age. That's why I made those mistakes. But for you to be able to speak that and share that with so many people that, you know, so many kids make excuses like, well, if my parents wouldn't have did this, if this person wouldn't do that, you don't blame anybody for whatever slip-ups, because I can't even count. I mean, because it ain't really that many. But for those ones that are secret within your own growth, why is it that you take total responsibility for your struggles and your outcomes and your successes, and you don't place blame on someone else?
Ooh, I think I always try to look at how I can make myself better.
Okay.
I always look at, you know, it's never somebody else's fault because you could have done something to prevent that. At the end of the day, you make this final decision, and it doesn't matter what type of position you're in, whether it be with money or whatever. You have that choice if you want to go steal or if you want to go get a job. You know, you have that choice at the end of the day, regardless. You just have to have that warrior's mindset. You got to work. And I think also it just comes from just being a team. Football definitely helped a lot with like the stop blaming thing, because, you know, like you could blame a person for having a bad play, but what did you do to other play? How did you mess up to where you can be better? So I think it just comes down to bettering myself. And I will say, sometimes I do it too much. I think I try not to blame people so much to a point where I start to blame myself for things that didn't even happen, or that's not really my fault. But I'm just so focused on, dang, man, you know, all right, that person punched me in the face, but why did they punch me in the face? What did I say or did before that to even get to that point? How can I stop it? That's just the type of person I am, I feel like. And that just comes from, I feel like that comes from my mom's good heart and my dad's just willingness to let it go and be free.
But that point you said, where you learn to recognize not blaming self and recognizing that, hey, it ain't my fault. I mean, how did you come to that? Because that's something powerful right there. Because I know we, even as adults, still fight through things and we keep on blaming ourselves. But at a young age, to be able to comprehend, hold up, man, let me stop blaming me because it wasn't me. And you said boundary. How did you come about that? I mean, because that had to come under pressure.
Yeah. Well, I've been through a lot of different situations, personally or whatever. And, you know, even with, I just had to find the right group of friends, the right group of people that were around me, the ones that would be true to me, but not yes men. And my true friends know, like they'll tell me when I'm wrong, but they'll also be like, nah, you're beating yourself up too much. And I just think that really came from them really telling me, like, no, like, stop. Like, you're not supposed to, like, say that about yourself right now. You didn't do nothing wrong. Like, you're in the right. I promise. Like, you're in the right. And also, it just comes from them also, like, you know, I had to find a right group of people that would, like, give me money and make sure I don't try to give it back to them or, like, leave it in the car or something, because they're always like, you know, somebody even came and gave me a thank you card today. And they're like a younger friend of mine. But I, like, took them under my wing to go throughout high school. And they were just appreciating me, and they gave me a thank you card, bracelet, whatever. And I texted them back. I was like, oh no, like, thank you for everything. They were like, no, you're not supposed to say thank you to me. Like, I'm saying thank you to you. Like stop it. And I think that's something that you just got to find with people. And that also comes with the boundaries. Like you were saying, just knowing your boundaries with people and making sure that they know what boundaries they have with you, what they're not allowed to say about you, what they're not allowed to talk about. And you guys, again, just goes back to standing up for what you believe in.
Just that alone, just to see you 18 as a dad, and I know as your mom, we're so proud of you to just see that example that you set for us. You make me a better dad, and I think I say that over and over. You know, I think every day I wake up, I say how much I love you. You know, always say be safe. You know, those are things that are so important. But yeah, we're proud of you, man. I mean, just to see also how you've been able to take your natural experience, you know, and just being a good person, God's creation, and taking your martial arts and taking that and applying to your football, your track, whatever, and seeing it being as one. Because one of the things that happened in martial arts, everybody said, man, our number one competition is football, soccer, and all that stuff. But you done told us that that's not our competition. Yeah. That's enhancement. Why? How would you answer that? Because many people do say that, man, we're in competition with that. How do you educate them on why it's not a competition? It's a enhancement.
Yeah.
Even as a student, when we talk about competition, you make me love competing with letting the students compete even more because it builds character.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that.
Well, I think you just got to pick the traits from each one and just apply them to the other. For example, you know, you go to martial arts, you learn how to jump, and then you go to football. They don't really, I mean, they do plyometrics stuff, but it's mostly just lifting and running. They don't teach you how to jump. They tell you get big. So you just combine the two. And then from football to martial arts, I learned that competitor's mindset where it's just like, no, like, you're not going to beat me. There's no next time. I'm going to beat you right now. I'm going to smack you. I'm going to slam you. I'm going to do whatever I can to get you down.
Right.
You are not beating me. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. And you bring that back to martial arts, and you get that courage and that self-esteem. And you get it from everywhere, though. That's the thing. People try to separate it so much, and they try to pin sports against each other. But, I mean, soccer helps football. You can kick. Football helps basketball. Basketball helps football, hand-eye coordination. You just got to be able to just learn what pieces you're being taught in each sport and put it all together.
And as you say that, I mean, I have a special guest sitting here watching us while we're on this podcast. We're going to bring her in because this is last day in the dojo before he goes off to college. So we're going to make this a family affair. We got the wonderful, fantastic, terrific Kimber Johnson. Can we get you to come here, please?
You want to sit?
Yeah, we're going to sit her right here. I was
You wanna sit?
yeah. Hey, guys, this is mommy. This is the wifey. You know what I'm saying? And, what is it like to see your son, our son, to be what he has become right now?
So just even hearing him speak today, first and foremost, he doesn't know it, but I always say to God, whatever's the one thing I did for you to give me him, I thank you, God, for recognizing that. There was one thing I did in this world that God saw that I earned my son, right? I earned the opportunity to be his mom. And I'm grateful to God for that because he inspires me to be a better person. And to see your son go off is so terrifying and exhilarating all at the same time. I'm pretty sure there should be a pill for it because it's so much anxiety involved in it, but it's so exhilarating at the same time. But a few weeks back, he did a seminar on how to lose. And when I listened to the things that he said in that seminar, it hit me like a flood. My son is ready to go off. Not that I doubted that he wouldn't be okay because all the things that he said here today and talked about. But that moment, just hearing him understand life and that life is about losing and it's okay to lose because that teaches you growth. I was like, he's got it. He's ready. Like, as a parent, you pray that you do your best with your children and you're like, damn, that's that one up, or, oh, I got that one right. But hearing him speak, I was like, man, we did good, right? And I told my husband just recently, I gave him a high five. I was like, husband, we did that thing right there. Look what we did. Look what we helped create in this world. And I'm proud as a parent because, look at him. How could you not be proud of him? But mostly I'm thankful I get to be his parent. Honestly, I'm grateful I get to be someone like that's parent. Because when you see that and you get to know that, you're like, Derek, he must have good parents, right? So I feel like we did a good job. We did an amazing job because he's a terrific human being.
And if you had one question, because we created the Warriors Mindset together, everything's about family. If you had one question you would like to ask him, what would that question be about the Warriors Mindset?
How much do you love your mom for real? Joking. Just joking. Put me on the spot here. One, I don't like being on camera, but two, just put me on the spot. Everything that you go through in life, everyone talks about how kind you are, how giving of a person you are, and how can you do that when I've seen people firsthand do you wrong, be nasty to you, be rude to you, do you dirty. I've seen people do that to you. And you may have your small moment of, like you said, beating yourself up, how was it my fault? And then you'll go to the extreme with it, oh, it's my fault, blah, blah, blah. I deserve this, blah, blah, blah. And I always no, you didn't. I defend that real quick. I'm like, oh, don't you dare talk bad about yourself. But how do you stay that good-natured person and not let all those negative things that happen to occur to you or around you affect that? How do you stay strong to that?
It's a couple mantras I use. I'm joking. It's not no mantra. But it's just a couple thoughts I go through. It's just, one, just treat people how you want to be treated, no matter how they do it to you. And I know it's like an old kindergarten phrase, whatever, but it's true though. Like you give out what you give out is what you're gonna get back. And, you know, it's funny because I definitely have. I will say I've had my moments where I've actually done something to somebody, and I always apologize real fast. And I think that's just because I know that I don't want to have any regrets or have any you know, sort of inner turmoil about who I am and what I could have done better in a situation. So that's why even when people come at me and they do weird stuff to me, I either just let it go or I just back away. Most times I just back away, honestly. Or I use my mom's method, kill them with kindness. You know, they punch you in the face and you give them a card the next day. You know, and that's just how that works. I just think also life is just too short to have grudges with people. Life is too short to be upset at people. Just be happy with everybody. You know, and I know like there's some situations that you just can't forgive. But in that instance, I say you can always forgive, but never forget, you know, just because you forgive somebody, that's one thing people don't realize. Just because you forgive somebody don't mean you gotta be their best friend again. You can forgive somebody and move on from them, but you gotta really realize that that person, they had something going on in their life as well. And that's why, you know, that's why they had that happen to them. That's why they did that to you. And I think that goes under the words like Sonder, realizing that like everybody in the world has their own life, their own problems, their own issues, their own goals and successes. And I think that's something that I just really look at all the time. I'm always wanting to look at both sides in a situation before I even try to get my emotions involved. And yeah, just trying to be kind so that way people are kind back to me.
And in closing, what I want to ask you, we have a family. They're about ready to fall apart. Mom's at odds, dad's at odds, children at odds. And you have less than 30 seconds to try to say something to that group to inspire them to not let that destroy the family dynamics. And you're talking from a child perspective. What would you say?
I guess I gotta respond fast since I got 30 seconds.
That's right.
I think that the thing I would point out the most is, first of all, why are we so upset? We're so upset because the people that we're upset with right now, we loved and we trusted, and we are upset because we didn't expect that from them because of how much we loved and cared for them. And I think that's something that you got to realize is just like most times when you're hurt a lot, especially by somebody that you love, you gotta just realize that it's just like you're upset at them not probably because of the action, but also because you didn't expect that from them because you love them and you care for them. And you got to remember how much you love and care for them in that moment. And for kids, you know, I learned this from my parents. You only get one mom, one dad. And that's just something that you're going to have to remember all the time. Just no matter what happens, you always got to at least make amends and always never end on bad terms because you don't know when it could be somebody's last day. And it's sad to think that way, but sometimes you got to realize that it's just like, man, like the way people just are like dying these days and just like randomly. And it could be like, you don't think it could be, but man, it definitely can be you next. And you don't want to realize it too late. Most people don't realize it until it's too late, but you want to try and prevent it and not realize it or not realize it until it's too late.
Wife, what would you say?
So I think it kind of piggybacks a little bit off of what Messiah said. The one thing I always tell Messiah in this situation, when you're in a relationship, you have to ask yourself this: do I hate what they did more than how much I love them? So if someone that you're in a relationship with, whether it's a friend, a family, whatever the case may be, do you hate what happened more than, or do you love them more than what happened? And you have to make that decision. And there have been a lot of times in my life where I've used that, and it made me realize how petty the situation was compared to the love that I have for this person and how meaningless it really was. And like he said, it's because you do love somebody so much, your emotions flare up. Like, oh, it's so hurt because you know that love, that emotion. I think one of the strongest emotions that anyone could ever have is love. And because like love can make you happy, love can make you sad, love can make you angry, love can make you joyous, you know, it can make you at peace, it can make you anxious. Love is a valuable emotion in so many different parts of your life. So I think like when you genuinely give someone your love, your true love, those emotions can go out of whack really fast. And I think as humans, we don't realize that quick enough in those type of situations. But definitely what Messiah says, I always try to think whenever I go through anything with my family, like come to this resolution quickly, because you never know when it's going to be someone's last minute with you. And you never want to have regret. I always tell people this. I love my dad so much. But the one thing I regret, and I always tell my husband this, man, I hope he can see I was really sick that day. Right before he passed, the Christmas before he passed, he was supposed to come over and spend the whole day with us and do family stuff and food and all that. And I had gotten food poisoning so bad. And I had to cancel on my dad. But I think my dad thought we just didn't want to be with him on Christmas Day. And it wasn't that. It was honestly that I had food poison. And I never, before he passed, I never got the opportunity to make that day up with him, with our family. And I always tell my husband, I'll never do that again. I never want to lose someone where it wasn't my last moment with them was a good moment, because that's what we take with us, right? So I would tell them that, like, just remember, do you love them more than you hate what happened or that situation? And remember, like he said, it could be your last moment with that person.
Warriors Mindset, family in the house. Much love. Everybody have a blessed day, awesome day. And remember, God, family, that's all that matters. Peace.
Thank you, guys.